Good Friday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age channel that talks about all my cars and trucks and SUVs and motorcycles and the dogs. And listen to my voice. Wow. Is it crackly? Is it all congested this morning? It really is. And it's all about the Kiwi dog, as always. Going after little Ginger baby. And I got to close the front door because it's always a challenge getting the dogs out. Or Kiefer likes to control little Ginger. How about that, huh? So, oh my goodness, it's Friday. And overcast here. Not too bad. Looks like it'd be, it's just supposed to be partly cloudy, I think, today. No rain. But anyways, so apologize for that. So, good morning to all those that watch my channel and watch Kiefer bark and drive you nutty. And I yell at him, and that drives you nutty. But hey, good Friday morning. Hope everybody's having a blessed Friday. And as always, it's about me walking across the driveway and having yet another day to bring content to you that maybe intrigues you to watch my channel or turn it off. I don't know. Whatever the emotion is of the day probably has what you feel like you want to watch today. And that's the key word of the day is emotion. And that's what drives everything in our life is our emotions. And it gets, I think to myself, wow, emotion. That's a powerful word today because there's so many people that are exposed to the social media. There's just so much information being shared in our society more than ever. And you see so many different things. And so is mankind at the highest level of emotions than ever in our lifetime. Hey, here's the Honda Africa. Can't even get, okay, well, there's the Honda Africa Twin. Here is the Honda Transalp, which, wow. Yeah, my emotions. Yeah, right. What are your emotions, Mr. Iceman, besides crazy? Besides, wow. Yeah. What hole am I digging myself into? Yeah, it's getting pretty big. That's for damn sure. So, I'm crazy, man. I can't get the door open. I don't know what's wrong with my voice this morning, but I talk a lot. You notice that? Come on, sit there. You ain't going up there, dude. You're just too much. You're just too much, man. Yeah, excuse me for all the gurgling and all that other stuff. But anyways, yeah, it's a collection. One of my good friends, haven't heard from him a long time. Russ, if you listen to my channel this morning, he used to be in the Hellcat forum, a Dodge forum that we came to know each other because he had a Challenger and so forth. And so, and over the years of interacting in the Hellcat forum, we realized or not, I was huge. I was a very big, I was a big time into the Dodge Mopar forum called Hellcat forum.org. And if I remember right, and I was there for years and years and years. I was the number one poster, and I used to do a lot of content on that forum. And sorry, everybody, my voice is just terrible. What's going on, man? It's challenging. So I was big time in that forum where I used to, because back in 2014 when Tim Knuskis released the Hellcat, it was huge, and then I got into a forum. I think it was Hellcat. I just can't remember. I think it was just hellcatforum.com. And so we were I was in that forum for many years. And if you know the car forums, you're interacting with other people that have the same love for what you have. And so it's all the Dodge stuff. So for years, I was in that forum, like 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think in 18, I think that Hellcat forum.com got sold out. And so when you get these forums, you get into very emotional going back and forth as you type and post your ideas, you post pictures, you post your brand new Hellcat you just got, and then you have, of course, in all those forums, you have all your different categories of the cars that you can, the car parts, the wheels, the tires, exhaust. And the whole idea is you can go to that forum, and if you're a newbie to the product, you're going to learn off the experience of the others that can tell you what to get, what what exhaust you put on, what tune do you put on it, do you put a bigger pulley, smaller pulley, blah, 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 what rear end, what drive shaft. I mean, it's infinite. It's forever. So and those car forums are really big, and they really are good tools if you're looking to modify your car, or you're looking to find out information should you get the Challenger or the Charger, and it just goes on and on and on. So I was very, very active. That was my outlet. My YouTube channel is my outlet to my happiness, even though you hear my frustration, but it's my outlet to reach out to others, to share my views and ideas and thoughts, and to hear other people reach back out. But in the car forums, it's more direct, because you're dealing with the people, the community, that are all on the same page of exactly what you want and they want. And so it's a closer relationship because you're on the same team. And my YouTube channel, I've got a lot of different products, a lot of different brands. So in some ways, some people probably can't connect with me as much as they can in a personalized car forum, because we're all on the same page for the same vehicle, just like the Dodge Charger. The running joke always was, this is the taxi cab, because it's a four-door. And they're just, really cool personalities, great people. And so, but I was very active in that. On Sunday mornings, I would do a review of the week. I would make fun at other forum members in a good way and remind them of stories that they told others that they did and this, that. So it was really a great time to be in that car community, and it gave me an outlet of having friends through those forums. And that was huge, because I'm so isolated in my own life because of just my lifestyle that I have. And I never have been a person, once I got out of high school and moved on in my career and life of working all the time and getting married, the social network started to get smaller and smaller. So the car forums were huge for me to interact with others. But at the same time, it was emotional as well, because you get into a confrontation with another forum member over just stupid stuff. But it became very emotional. I remember many nights I couldn't sleep. I'd be aggravated at this person that made rude comments. And then, of course, you have the moderators that step in, and they'll remove content. They'll even put you in, they'll even ban you for 30 days. And so all these car forums have moderators that watch the conversations that go back and forth. And so, once again, I was very big in that. But then the Hellcat forum was sold out to a big conglomerate, and they get much more strict. They wouldn't let you. So we had the political views. The forum had a section where you could just talk about off-subject things. And a lot of these car forums, motorcycle forums, they have these areas where if you just want to go start talking things other than cars, you can get into that forum and you can do things and try to be respectful and not get too crazy. But that's challenging when it starts to be politics and outside things of the cars. So the HellcatForum.com got bought out by a conglomerate, as I just said, and it became much stricter. You didn't have as much freedom. So it really got to be a drag. So the real good Hellcat forum members that were all interacting with each other on a regular basis, and that's what it is. In these forums, it's sold 80-20 rule. 80% of the content's going to come from 20% of the people. So we by accident found, well, what I did is I was looking to start up a whole new car forum on my own. So I really wanted to duplicate the Hellcat forum and do the same thing, but for me to run it and for me to see if I could make any money out of that. So I started looking into getting my own car forum going, but during that process, I found HellcatForum.org, which was a very small forum that never was able to grow much because the HellcatForum.com, and once again, I could be wrong on these names because I've been away from these forums now for like 2 years at least. And I'm just going off my memory here because there's a story to why I'm not in there anymore. If you want to hear the whole story, it's all about the emotions. So it became very emotional on the original forum, where how a lot of our members, we felt like we were getting shut down and silenced, and we didn't like it. So we moved on, and we found this very small forum that's based out of California. In fact, I personally know the owner. I have his personal cell phone number, his email. and I've interacted with him numerous times. So slowly, a lot of the forum members moved over to that new forum that actually had been around for many, many years, but it just never got the attention like the other one did. And so now we had a really good group of great forum members where we all were on the same page, and it was just a great community of people. And of course, you could still go back to the other forum and interact as well, but we had more freedom because this owner of this forum was a younger guy, and he was more, he just didn't really, as long as you kept it within reason, and we did have moderators on there, he wouldn't attack you or shut you down. So it became a very fun forum to really share all of your views and ideas and thoughts. So so now we go to 2020, and the election year comes up, and of course, on that forum, I told everybody on that forum that Donald Trump would not win the election. And it pissed a ton of people off. And that one posting created so many responses that it opened a whole door. It's like I created a whole nother avenue of that forum that went to political more than ever of any forum I've ever been in. And since the owner was a young guy, he really didn't care. And so it got very aggressive, because before the election, I was telling everybody that Donald Trump won't be reelected, that Joe Biden will be elected. And people thought I was nuts. And I was like, no, I'm just telling you how this is going to play out. So once again, it got very confrontational, but it was still in the open forum. And so, and then as time progressed, then the election came, and then the election was, I was right. Trump didn't win. And then it turned into the whole speculation of the voting machines, and oh my gosh, it was so that whole Hellcat forum community, the whole focus of the cars was like on the back end as everybody was arguing and challenging the election. And then data was being shared, people would post links, and it got very confrontational. And for the most part, most of the members in there were more Trump and conservative members. But then there were a select few that weren't. They were more liberal, more Joe Biden, and more the socialist style type of person. So it became very confrontational in the forum, where there was sometimes some people had to have content removed, and the moderators had to start getting more involved. And then it came down to, they got the whole, more or less the discussions, general discussions, moved off like the front page, so it wasn't so apparent when somebody came in as a new member that it was easy to go over to another page and then start running your mouth. So the forum and the moderators really said, we got to kind of calm us down. But the thing is, the ongoing election challenge went on forever and ever and ever. And then, unfortunately, you got individuals that did get in there that were pro-Biden, that hated Trump, and it became very emotional. And then it went to, we had to create a private forum just to get away from the general forum, from others interacting that were now creating a problem. So basically, you had your own private club in this forum. And for me, for years, I used to tell everybody on the forum that whatever you're going to say will always come back to bite you in the butt. This is just a general public Hellcat forum that anybody can get on and watch and do whatever they want. And if you start running your mouth too much, the odds are you're probably going to be called out eventually. And I used to always have a running joke that somebody be knocking on your door. Will be the FBI. So it was always I know my voice is just so bad this morning. I don't know why. What I do, right? So yeah, I'm sorry for all the hacking and coughing, everybody. It's embarrassing as I try to make another video another morning. So the community forum, and keep in mind, we're also always going and talking about the cars. So the fun side never disappeared. So you had both sides of the equation, where on one side you're showing off your brand new Challenger, Charger, what you did to your car, the racing, track times. But then the other side, you got to vent your frustration with others that were on the same page as you are. And that's what it's all about in life. You have to have a friend that thinks like you do and does things like you do, or otherwise they're not really your friend, because then you're arguing. Like I said yesterday, the arguments. You're always arguing with them over what... So anyways, so the forum was really a great forum. It was a huge outlet for me. I was in that forum every day, all day long, similar to this YouTube channel. And I brought a lot of content. I brought a lot of funny things, and I brought a lot of friends through these forums, to the point we were even talking about meeting each other in the middle of the country to get together and do a camping trip. I mean, it was really cool. So the forum was very active, but in that same time frame, I tried to start an Indian motorcycle forum. If you look at my original videos, you'll see IndianMotorcycles.net, and I'll be trying to get people to go to my Indian forum. So I created my own motorcycle forum, because on the Indian, so I was in different forums: Ford Mustang forum, Ford Tremor forums, Ford Maverick forums, Ford Electric Lightning, Mach-E, the motorcycle side, Harley side, BMW, Honda. So I was in lots of forums, because that was my outlet of interacting with other people, not in person, but through the internet, and sharing, my brand new Honda Goldwing, my brand new Harley CVO, my brand new BMW adventure bike. And it's because I just had all the different brands. So I had a lot of ways of interacting with others, because I had so many different vehicles. And so that was really cool. And even though in some of the forums they got sick of all the stuff, some of them, they just despised me even being there, because I had too many damn cars and trucks and motorcycles. So I'm drinking water, just so you know, as you look at the collection, the art collection. As we look over here at the Honda Transalp, I think it's so cool. That bike, that's in all reality, I should have bought that, not the Honda Afro Twin. That bike there, it's close to half the money, and it's just so versatile. It's so fun. Great bike. So confident. I mean, that's a bike I can ride around a property and help my skills of riding a motorcycle. That's all it's about. That bike there, that's a great skills bike that'll give me the opportunity to ride around my property and be a better rider, because I can push myself in the dirt and not be as worried of crashing like you on the street. Here's the Bison. Great truck. I'm loving my Bison. In all reality, I really do like that truck. It is a lot of fun. One of my YouTubers, he 6'3", he was intrigued. He went by a dealership and he commented on my channel that, yeah, that's a reach. It's a reach to get in that Bison. He's 6'3", and he's like, wow, that's a lot of truck to get out of that truck. I'm 5'10", so he's 5 inches taller than me, and he's like, yeah, I see what you're saying, Mr. Iceman. So thank you very much for reaching out there. I think it was Biker Bug, so sorry if I didn't get that right. Anyways, there's just so many different usernames. It gets complicated sometimes reading all the different comments. So if I tried to start my own motorcycle forum, which I did, I created my own motorcycle forum with the help of the owner of the other Hellcat forum out of California, and he really did a great job, helped me, didn't charge me a lot of money, and I got it up and going, and I had it for a year. But boy, until you start with these car forums, you have no idea the challenge of getting people to go to that site, because you're competing against other existing forums, and people won't leave them, and they'll stay there because they're with the community. And then all of the scammers start showing up on your website, and it's a huge problem. It's very challenging to stay on top of that. Once the spammers know that you've got this forum on the internet, it got so bad eventually, and I was making no money off of it, and you have to do all these things of really moderating it. So eventually, I didn't let the registration renew itself, and I just let the site shut down. But once again, if you look at my channel, at very new, when I was just getting this going, I was trying to use my channel, the YouTube channel, to help populate the Indian motorcycle side. And it was the same story. The Indian Motorcycle Forum I was on, they changed the whole structure, and they were bought out. So the World Press, if you understand that language, the World Press is old school of forum type of technology, It's a very universal, it's the standards of the world, and it's easy to build a car forum, motorcycle forum, any forum you want off the WordPress style background of how you build content and how you add content. So I use that. But then the newer forums, they went to a whole different new model of how you interact with which I didn't like. I didn't like the new way of you going around and having to navigate through the website to go from forum to forum to forum. And that's why I created my own forum. And that's what happened at hellcatforum.com. Is that forum there was a forum that they changed the whole. They went from WordPress to a whole different style, and it wasn't as user friendly. But the new forum that was hellcatforum.org, that forum was the WordPress, and the owner left it that way. So for all of us older guys and all of us people used to interacting, we were able to navigate through the forum easier, and we liked that better. And so my motorcycle forum, IndyMotorcycles.net or whatever it was, that eventually I just let it go. Like I say, if there are things you can get in a car forum and you make any money, these forums are very challenging. It's all about getting advertisers to get into your forum, just like on my YouTube channel. It's very challenging. You have to have so many subscribers to get the exposure of so many people hitting your channel to get the ad monies to really start to add up. So anyways, it's all about the emotions. And that's what I'm talking about this morning, because it reminds me of being in these forums, like the Bronco forum. I used to be active in the Bronco forum. And it was very emotional because people would get pissed off. And that's what would happen in these forums, is somebody gets an attitude and they disagree with you, and then they just mock you. When I had the Bronco forum, I used to post videos of my brand new Bronco Hot Pepper Red. You're going back to 2022. And I had people on there mocking my channel, and they didn't like my voice because I'd show a how-to video on how to put exhaust on your Bronco, or how to put mud flaps on, or whatever it may be, and how to do the e-brake or do the trailer brake setup. I did lots of info, and plus I did a lot of sharing, and they would see all my cars, and so it was jealousy. So a lot of the other forum members would just call me out, and they just rag on me. So I just didn't really like that community. The Hellcat forum was more very personalized, older, my age group, younger, but more sophisticated type of individuals, because the Hellcats are expensive. And that's what you find out in these forums. When you're in certain forums that are high-end vehicles, you're going to connect with those type of personalities. When you're in a forum like the Bronco forum, anybody can buy a Bronco. So you're dealing with so many different personalities, and when you deal with different personalities, all the emotions start to flare, and then you get called out, things get banned, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, so in the Hellcat forum, the forum got very intense with the private chat room that a lot of the members would share. This is, once again, it's a private area for only select members can be allowed access to it to interact and then to express your real views and ideas of what you think's right versus wrong. And it was a really cool section of the forum. And unbeknownst to the general forum, they didn't know there was this private section. And we came to closure that it would be better to have a private section of 10, 20 members that are on the same page, the same talk, versus being out in the general forum and you just piss people off. And then you lose subscribers. So for the owner of the company, he's not going to grow his business. He's going to lose people because it gets too confrontational of having conservatives arguing with liberals. So anyways, so that private thing, I always just comment on the forum that if you ever think this is a secure forum, you're crazy. Because I know the guy that owns it out of California is just some young guy that's running this thing on a shoestring, and he doesn't have the infrastructure to really be able to make it a real secure website. And whatever you start posting is probably going to be hacked. And you know what? I was exactly right. So you go back to 2022, the fall of 2022, the forum got hacked on the side of the private side, and a person or persons then posted content on a liberal-based forum. And, you know, for me, I just kind of washed this stuff. I erased all this stuff out of my memory because it was so bad. I think it was Reddit. I think Reddit is a very liberal-based forum. So this individual or individuals somehow hacked in to the private room, and they started copying and pasting comments of what we, you know, how we didn't like Joe Biden. So it was very confrontational, very emotional, because now this person's exposing the private forum and the private members of that forum of speaking outside, you know, speaking things that they wouldn't share publicly with others. So it's so bad. So at that time in the forum, I was really getting disgruntled because there were a few forum members that were, in some ways, I just didn't like them. That's the bottom line. I did not like them, and this is where it was like it's over for me emotionally. It was over. So this one select moderator says it was me that exposed the private chat room to Reddit. I don't even know what Reddit is. I'm just telling you straight up. I don't even know if I'm telling you that's the name of the forum. But anyways, so they then shoot the community shoots me a text. Well, actually, I didn't even really know this until later from Russ. So now this one moderator is calling me out saying I took all this private information and I made it public. And now people are worried about their jobs. They're worried about the FBI because they think from all their conversations they had, they're now going to be exposed and it's going to ruin their career because of them talking heavy language that is political based. And so anyways, so now it gets really heavy and deep. And this really just pissed the crap out of me. That now I'm the top poster of this forum, and I'm well known in the community, and then people know my positions of who I am, and now I'm being called out by this one person, and then another person jumps on the wagon, and they start calling me out that I'm the person that posted all this stuff in public, and now they think that they're going to lose their job. It became so emotional, and what was crazy is so many people play this game in life of I'm Mr. Badass. I'm Mrs. Badass. You know, oh man, I'm going to do this. And then when the real dirty deed comes down, they're running for their lives. They're a bunch of little scaredy cats. So I'm pissed. And some other things are going on in my life at that time that are just really challenging. And I'm like, you know what? I can't take this emotional drama. I'm out. So I disappeared from the forum because it came so emotional. It was so frustrating that for me being called out by other members that I thought were my friends, that now I'm the bad guy. And so I disappeared. So this is like November of 2022 and December, and I think it was late December, maybe even 1st of January. I went down to Florida, and just some really heavy things were going on in my life. My marriage, business, a lot of things were happening. I was just so emotionally drained. I decided I have to get out of this, and I'm going to have to separate myself from this and just take a time out. And so I did. Well, my good friend Russ, he actually has my personal cell phone number. We're on a very personal level, and we have been for years and years. And he's a great guy. And so Russ calls me. No, he texted me. And he said, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, what's going on? I said, I'm down here in Florida. And I'm texting back and forth. He says, do you know what's going on in that Hellcat forum? I was like, you know what? I don't. I shut it out. I got out of it because I was getting too emotionally worn out from what's going on. And it's just really bad. So I just separated myself and taking a time out. He said, let me send you a link. So he sends a link to my text on my phone that gives me a link to show that all my comments in that private forum have been exposed publicly of my political views and ideas of what's going on in this country, in some way, a radical way, and to others that would look at that content. And I'm like, wow, holy crow. So my username, so I have a whole different username and everything else when I interact in this community. And then I see other people's information being publicly shown. So this individual is taking screenshots of all these comments, and then putting it in a liberal-based forum where now so the comments on this liberal forum is these people should go to jail. These people should be drugged out of their house and hung. These people should have the FBI track their ass down and go to prison. I mean, this is how radical it is. So the emotions are through the roof on the other side in the Hellcat forum, because now there's people that have government jobs, government contracts. They truly believe that they're going to be caught and called out on expressing political views and ideas that are going to terminate their business relationships and other things. So people are totally losing it. It's an emotional fiasco. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But I'm like, who cares? Who cares? This person stole a private chat room. Now they're disclosing it to a public, liberal-based forum. But I was like, I don't care. What are they going to do? You saying I can't say? You're telling me I can't publicly speak the way I think things should be or shouldn't be? Are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. So I was like, what a waste of frickin' time. So now, this is now like weeks go by, and Russ reaches out to me again. He goes, look, man, you're going to have to go back to that forum and tell them that it wasn't you, because the forum thinks that was you because you disappeared. So I literally, this was a very challenging time back in my life. Is now I'm just like, wow, this is beyond believable that all these people that I knew from 2014-15 to 2022, going into 2023, these are people that are calling me out. And I thought these were my friends. And they think that I'm the guy that was the narc. And I was just I was blown away like you can't believe. So, I finally came to closure. All right, I'm going to log back in. And I don't even want to see what's going on. But then they blocked me. So then I was like, what the heck? So in January, there was a note in a message saying that you've been blocked from this forum until February as we investigate things. Oh my gosh. I'm like, wow, this is beyond believable. This is a car forum. These people are going nuts. They're going nuts. And so now I literally call one of the moderators, and I talk to them on the phone on a personal level to find out what's going on. And this individual, he's an older guy, and he's a cool guy, and he's a great guy. And so we talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And I'm explaining to him, but, he's like, well, a lot of these people think you are a narc because you left. I'm like, I left because a few individuals on there made me so freaking mad. I didn't want to get into it. And I figured it's time to take a time out because they're calling me out as being a narc. And that really pisses me off. And so we went round and round and round and round and round and round and round. Meanwhile, he's talking about how he's hiring attorneys. They're going to track this person down. They're going to file a lawsuit against them. I'm thinking, are you kidding me? Do you know the laws of the internet? Do you know how challenge that'll be for you to take and try to sue somebody for sharing in public, sharing conversations? I'm like, good luck. So anyways, he's like, well, you really need to go back to that forum and you have to address this personally. I'm like, well, I will, but I can't get in. He's like, really? I'm like, no, I've been banned out of there today and I can't even get in. So now it's February that I finally get back in the forum. They finally open it back up to me. And I go in there and I address why I left. And instantly I'm getting attacked by select few people. And I'm like, whoa. And one guy is saying they tracked this hacking to a general area around my house. I'm like, what are you talking about? Wow. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. You're saying you tracked somebody hacking the thing that lives in my neighborhood? I'm like, wow. I'm like, you know what? I'm out. I am out forever. So what I did say to everybody there, I said, I would never do this. I'm so disappointed that stuck to you here think that I would do something like this, but I would never, ever do this. That is not who I am. And you know that's who I am. And it's unfortunate that I stuck to you here or thinking that I'm the person that's the problem, but we know who did it. And to this day, I'm very confident that I know who did it. And the guy that did it lives up the road here in Manassas, Virginia. And the guy's even been at the car show. And the guy's a Fruit Loop. I'm not lying. He's even been in the background at the car show with his Challenger as I've made car show videos. And this guy is a whack job. I mean, I'm sincere. He's a total whack job. And there's no doubt that this guy because he got into major arguments with other forum members. And then in the private section, people would make derogatory comments about him. And somehow he got into that private section. And I always made the running joke that when you invite a newcomer in that private section, who do you really think they are? You don't know who they are. And so we invited other members, invited new forum members into that forum private chat area. And I was always like, you're crazy. You don't know who this person is. And there's a guy on there that was so radical that came into our forum that, oh my gosh, it'll take me the rest of the day to talk about this one individual that showed up and got in that private room. That was him. That we played everybody to the tune while he's shooting all of the private conversations. And then he's seen how on his other username in the forum is being trashed in the private section as he's playing to be somebody else. It's beyond believable of what people fell to in this guy. And then this guy just totally disappeared. And then the guy, he was so creative, he created the argument from the one guy user to his own user to make it look like he left the forum community because they were arguing back and forth about all this BS. I mean, the guy was very creative on how he was trying to trash that whole forum. So the emotions. So you just heard me talk to you for 30 minutes about a very emotional time in my life. So you know what? After that, I still was active in the Bronco forum, the Mustang forum, but as time progressed, and even to this date, I don't go on to these car forums anymore. I'm out. They're so confrontational. There's too many different personalities, and you get into arguments, and it just doesn't. In all sincereness, the amount of time this YouTube channel takes out of my life, of me making videos on a constant basis, it's just so much work. And doing other things in my life besides making a YouTube video, it's emotionally draining. It really is. I mean, it just takes so much out of you. And then even on my YouTube channel, people will call me out or somebody make a rude comment and you have to address that. How do you handle that? It becomes very emotional. And then I've talked about it. I've been very transparent of my own channel, of the frustrations of growing this channel is very challenging and making any money. And then other people weigh in, well, if you do this, if you do that. People are telling me the thumbnails would make my channel grow like leaps and bounds. Okay, I started making some thumbnails. You know what? The viewer content was no different than no thumbnail. I'm not lying to you. If you look at my visibility, the morning conversations, for the most part, are very small. It's when I go buy another vehicle, that's big. That gets the 400, 500, 1,000, 2,000 views. The morning conversations are the 150, 200, sometimes 300, sometimes 400 or 500, very rarely, but it's usually the 200 crowd that kind of tunes into my channel. But I talk a lot and I talk a long time, so I get it. But at the same time, I've expressed my emotions through this camera, this phone, to you, the aggravation of running a YouTube channel. And I think that I just truly believe that the other YouTubers have something going on, that they do things that it's not above the board. There's something going on that I just don't understand. Now, the next thing I watched last night was I should start doing community posts. That I should have community posts where then I create content that creates like the voting section. But you know what? This turns into so much work. Anybody out there, this turns into a full-time job. It really does. So I'm starting to feel like to really be a YouTuber, to ever really make real money, it's a full-time job. That's the only way you're going to be able to do it, because you have to post so much content. But then what they say is you don't post as many videos because on the community side, you then just post questions and answers and you interact with the community that then takes the polls and then they interact. They feel like they're more part of your channel because it's a personal experience where they're chatting among themselves like a forum. It's basically now going to like a car forum where you've opened up Pandora's box of everybody's interacting with each other, posting comments of what they think is right versus wrong. Which, do I really want that? I don't. And then I have to moderate that. I really don't want to have to do that. That's just, to me, say, forget it. So it is what it is. And until I'm Mr. Beast or Cletus McFarlane, where I've got a shop here and I can customize building things and then go drive like a derelict down the road, doing donuts out in the middle of the field in my Whipple. Oh, the Whipple, what a fiasco. Oh my gosh, the Whipple Supercharger. Oh my gosh, what a joke, man. The FedEx is driving me nuts. So supposedly, finally, FedEx Freight is going to deliver the second package at the local FedEx Freight store today, probably this afternoon, who the hell knows, and I can go get my Whipple Supercharger so I can put it on my freaking car. But here's the thing. So if I'm the real true motorhead guru, I'm going to be the guy that pulls it in my garage, and I'm going to take the whole top end of the motor apart. You're going to watch me put the Whipple Supercharger on. You're going to watch me tune it. I don't have that capability. I don't have that technology. I don't have the tools. So that won't happen. It'll go to Coons Baltimore Ford, and they're going to put it on for me. But then, like I say, if I'm Cletus McFarlane or I'm Jared with Lethal Performance, you're going to be seeing videos of, these guys doing burnouts, doing donuts. Cletus McFarlane, he'd go racing through the field over there. He'd be doing the Dukes of Hazzard. I mean, and that's what draws people into, is the crazy, silly stuff that makes people like their jaws drop on how crazy you are to be destroying something, or you're borderline going to crash, or you're going down the road. But, you got to be careful on that. I mean, you got to be careful on a lot of stuff you do, because if I could take this car out on the road and I start getting filmed doing 100 plus miles an hour on public roads, it then turns into, does my insurance company find out through my social media that I'm this crazy guy that goes out and does all these crazy things, and then they cancel your insurance? Yeah, that stuff happens. Or if you get caught. I mean, and what's the value of that? I mean, I would think for all the videos I've made, and that's what intrigues me most, is you make a video every day, new video every day, but rarely do people go back to my old videos. That's what it blows me away. I've got 2,500 plus videos, and do I get any money off of the old videos? Not really, no. Everyone wants to see a new video every day. Do they want to go back and look at 2020 and see all the videos made in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023? No, people don't do that. They won't go backwards and see all the videos I made, of all the how-to videos, of all the daughter and I rolling down the road in the Mustangs, doing a little bit some roll stints down in Tennessee. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And then for all that, it's yeah. All right, everybody, that's it. I'm done. I'm emotionally drained from just telling you the whole freaking story of that Hellcat forum. So bad. Oh my gosh, ridiculous. Yep, and it's the hate. It's the hate of society. That's what people get off on. It's the hate. It's just so bad. But anyways, that's it. So everybody, thanks for watching. God bless. Have a great day.